We're getting all Rozzi everywhere.
That sounds fun.
So I want to welcome everyone. I'm Kathy with TalkShopLive, and we're welcoming Rozzi on the platform. She's an incredible singer, songwriter, and performer. And tonight we're talking all about, if you haven't listened, you guys, it is such a beautiful album, Fig Tree. And we're also excited because right here on TalkShop Live, you can get a signed copy of Fig Tree, LP or CD. All you have to do is click that shop button. If you're watching on Instagram, comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly into your DMs to purchase. And this is the best way to support the artists we love. And like I'm telling you, you're going to,
So,
you too. First of all, I was not fibbing when I said, what a beautiful, beautiful album. I know this was such a personal, and you said you wrote this in a very transitional time in your life. You're leaving behind your 20s, you're getting into your 30s, and so many big life changes are happening to you. Can you share a little bit about why this one specifically for you was so heartfelt and so connected?
yeah, I mean, I think people who've been listening to me for a while know I always write extremely personal songs. I don't really know. I've tried to not, and it just doesn't work for me. I just end
Right.
up, I just write very personal stuff. So that's always a given. I think this record, like you said, it was in a very transitional time in my life, lots of moving pieces. I think anyone who has any experience with like the Saturn return
Yeah.
era of life could relate to the big questions that you find yourself asking. And I just needed to write myself through it, basically. So
Right.
yeah.
In order to be, I mean, I feel like when you listen to some of the tracks on these album, well, a lot of them, but it feels really vulnerable. And it feels in a way to putting yourself out there in that capacity can be a little scary. But then I guess you probably, it's is hearing from fans or just knowing that someone can relate to that. Does when you intend to songwrite, do you intend with the intention of like, I hope this gets out there and, even if it's a little raw and it's a little personal, I really hope it connects with someone. I really hope it helps them.
Yes, I will say, like, every time I've made music, I will write the song and record the song and be so
Right.
excited to, and then the night before the song comes out, I have a panic. I mean, I'm just like,
You're like, "Did I write that? Should I even say that?"
it's like, ugh. But it's just, I think, I whenever that happens, I look to my heroes. I always think of Stevie Nicks singing, these
Yes.
songs he wrote about Lindsey Buckingham to his face in the band. And I try and be brave because of what you just said. I think it's any artist in the world of any kind, if they have the ability to express a human emotion, a human experience, I think it's our obligation to do so. I really believe that. So I try my best to be vulnerable even when it's terrifies me to my very core.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, wait, I gotta see some people here saying best album ever. Where is Clippy? Let's get Clippy on the talk show.
Yeah.
Where is Clippy?
Clippy just went to the little window seat over there. He was just here being a menace, like literally right until we went
Sh-
live. I'll work
She's
on it.
she's
I'll
on her
get
best behavior
her
right
soon.
now.
Yeah, he's taking a nap. He's like, my mom is looking at herself and the screen. It's not my time to play. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take it back a little bit, which is like when you got into this industry. You were in college, here you are, and then poof, you're thrust into sort of like the limelight of recording, being signed to a label, being discovered by Adam Levine. So what was it like for you to jump into the music industry, especially being new to it?
Yeah. Um, God, on the one hand, you're right. I was 19. I was unbelievably green. I didn't really know any professional artists. I'd never really knew any in my whole life. So it was scary, but I, like all 19-year-olds in a way, was so sure that I knew everything. So I was
Right.
very confident at the same time, dangerously so maybe. And so when I look back on it now, it's both this really exhilarating, exciting time, and
Yeah.
I want to hug her because she thinks
Yeah.
she doesn't know anything at all. So it it was a little bit of everything, but I do have to say it was also very fun. Like, I just got to tour the world, when I was supposed to be taking finals, and that was pretty awesome.
I
So,
mean, it's totally so much better than sitting in a classroom getting writing a thesis or anything. But was there a moment when you finally realized while this was all going on that, oh my gosh, my life is going to change.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I'm curious if people out there have this feeling. When I always knew I'd be an art, I just always knew it, that I would make music and do it. So there was a little part of me that was like, I knew it. Here it is. But that gets kicked out
That's that dangerous confidence you talk about.
saying and then I learned a million lessons. Don't worry, like
Right.
it all for me. It wasn't all smooth sailing, but yes, I think the first time I sang in an arena when I was touring with Maroon 5, and the first time I went on stage and did duets with Adam and I got off stage, I'll never forget that feeling. And I was never the same after that, pretty much.
I mean, when you see your evolution from that 19-year-old girl to here we are at Fig Tree, I mean, tell me about your voice in general, not just physically, but or literally, but also metaphorically, like finding who you are
Mhm.
from that point, from that girl to here, and what we're listening to. I mean, you say this is obviously one of your most vulnerable, most your honest album. So when you look back and you look to where you are now, what I mean, was your self discovery along the way?
So much. My whole life has happened since then, I think for me, like I said before, I always knew I'd be an artist and I was very ambitious always. Again, maybe to a dangerous degree, but through from then to now, I think the
Yeah.
biggest shift has been I understand so in such a pure way that all I want to do is make stuff. Like as much as I am still ambitious and
Mhm.
constantly trying to reach as many people as I can, I really understand that the purpose of me is
Yeah.
to be an artist and make stuff and try and connect with people and express myself through art. It sounds kind of obvious, but there's something about being
Right.
when you come into your own, I feel that in my body now, just that
Of
that's what
course.
to do.
It's like
Yeah,
your form of self-expression, and you don't know any other way to do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to remind everyone, if you are watching, and I see a lot of you are commenting, you have questions, we're going to get to those, but I just want to remind everyone to click that shop button so you can get a signed copy. There it is. There it is, a signed copy
I'll
of
sign up.
Rozzi's LP and CD, and she's signing it, you guys. It is not auto pen. She is signing it. She's getting to work. And you can also shop on Instagram and Facebook. Comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly into your DMs to get the album. All right, I want to jump into Fig Tree, but first I want to I know there's a couple of questions here. Jason, what is your favorite song to perform live?
Oh my god, it depends on the day, like, what my mood is. I will say from this album, Waiting Game, actually, I really love the Waiting Game. It's, like, probably the rangiest song on the record, and so that's always really fun. And then from my previous albums, I always love singing Bad Together just because it's such a singer song, and I love to be melodramatic and feel all the feelings I c possibly can at once.
Absolutely. Okay, Harry wants to know, when are you coming back to the UK?
Ugh, I would love to. I'm obsessed with I had so much fun touring in the UK. Working on it. I don't know when, but I promise it'll happen.
But you are going to be going on tour, have been doing some performances as well, so we'll get to see those.
Yes, definitely. Going on
Oh,
a US, mostly East Coast tour, in November. So very, very excited for that.
okay, these are so much love here, Rozzi. We have, what about your shows at the Bootlegger with Ghost Beach? You crush those.
Wait, the bootleg theater? Is that what they just said? Oh my wait,
Yes.
whoa, that is you've been listening for a long time. That's amazing. I love you, whoever just said that. That's an old throwback. Damn.
That is amazing. Okay, and Maria wants to know, then we'll get back to the album. What has been your favorite venue to perform in?
Ever? The Hollywood Bowl. The Hollywood Bowl is like my favorite place in the world. So I just like I could be there every night in the summer. That was one of my favorites. And then honestly, there's so many places around the world, small little rooms, big rooms. I can't even remember even what they were. It was just like an essence in the air.
Yeah.
It's so random. Sometimes you just like catch a vibe. But the Hollywood Bowl is pretty special, I have
I
to
mean, it's
admit.
pretty iconic. All right, keep them coming. We have so many great comments. We love you, Queen. I love Waiting Game. So talented. Yes, yes, yes to all those. Okay, so let's transition into this album, and let's start with the title because I want to know what inspired you with this title. I know that had to do with a particular author and book, and I love the explanation of this. So I'd love for you to share it with your fans and with our viewers. So, what inspired Fig Tree?
Fig Tree is a very iconic page in The Bell Jar by
Mm.
Sylvia Plath. And I read The Bell Jar a few years ago now when I was still just writing the record. I hadn't even started recording it yet. And I was sitting on that couch right over there. I'll never forget it. I was reading The Bell Jar. It was like evening after dinner because I'm a loser and I love to stay home all the time and just read my books. And that's what I was doing as always. And I remember reading that page and it's like I got hit in the face with the
Yeah.
concept is Esther, the protagonist, is under this beautiful fig tree, and every fig represents a different, amazing life she could live. And she's so overwhelmed by the choices that she chooses none, and they all shrivel and die. My album, as I think people know, ends on a much happier note because I'm significantly more optimistic than Sylvia Plath. But yeah, that was just like that stanza like changed my life, honestly.
And you opened the album with Fig Tree. So why was it important to sort of open it with that being like the track?
Oh, I actually think I opened it with Hold Tight is the first song. I'm like, check. Oh, you're right. The intro.
The
Oh my,
intro.
my
Yeah.
album. Me, what am I talking about? Yeah, the intro. Okay, well, that's my favorite secret on the record, which is the intro. It's the chords from Hold Tight, but I'm humming a melody from Fig Tree, which repeats throughout the album. It's like this like a melodic motif that
Okay.
that happens every few songs because it's kind of the thesis of the album. And so I wanted to repeat that melodically over and over,
So
basically.
sort of giving your listeners like a little sneak peek of what sort of that theme is we're going to be
Yeah,
hearing throughout the album.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So I want to know what was happening in your life when you were doing Hold Tight as we move on to the next track. And then I'm going to share the music video with our viewers, but really want to describe that those emotional and physical changes that you were going through that sort of inspired this song.
Yeah. Hold tight. So I actually was fortunate enough to be able to freeze my eggs, which was an incredible process. But if anyone out there has done it, it's really not for the faint of heart. Like it's a pretty wild emotional hormonal journey. And I was mostly by myself. My like long-term partner was out of the country working. And so I was kind of contemplating motherhood almost against my will. Obviously, I'd chosen to freeze my eggs, which I'm very
Right.
glad I've been very grateful for. But I was doing it because I wanted to prolong motherhood. And so I was kind of being faced with the thought of it in a really extreme physical way. And Hold Tight is me kind of losing my mind a little bit, like from the emotional tension of it all,
Yeah.
basically. It's like it's fairly complex, of a song to open a record with, but it was kind
Mhm.
of like a storm that I was in. And so we wanted to really capture that feeling as much as possible with the really repetitive chords that kind of
Yeah.
build and build, and you feel crazier and crazier. And yeah.
I really love that you share that. I don't know if anybody's had a chance here, but I read your personal essay on bustle,
Oh,
and that
thank
was yeah, and that was like it really was so incredibly honest to share that. And I think so many women and even if it's something you're going through or not, that the realization it's not just specifically motherhood, but I think so many women can relate to that. And it's more of like you're holding tight, but you're also like this idea that you have to let go as well, you
Exact
know?
totally. Well, yeah, like, I think as a person listen, I promise to overshare on this, so I'll just
Yes,
keep
we're gonna
sharing.
do it. We love oversharing.
As a person, I, like, really love control. That's something that's always been very hard for me is to not have control in all sorts of situations.
Mhm.
And, you know, having your body kind of be taken over by something that feels kind of like this foreign element
Yeah.
is one way to lose control. And then just thinking about time and how little control we have in life. When you're thinking about the future and then when am I going to have kids and am I going to have kids and questions like that just kind of throw you out of control. And so that song was me kind of wrestling with that, which is very out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely that was one of my favorites as well. So I want to show everyone the video for Hold Tight. Take a look and a listen because you'll really enjoy this, and then we'll get back into diving into the album.
You and I
love a good music video.
Thank you.
I want to remind everyone if you're watching right now, I see that some of you are shopping. Thank you for that. Make sure to click that shop button, add it to your cart, getting a signed LP CD by Rozzi. Let's support her and this amazing album. It's so beautiful. You guys are going to just like listen to it over and over again. If you're watching on Instagram, comment the word shop. You're going to get a link directly into your DMs. Okay, I want to get some fan questions here. Mary, what are your must-have items when you go on tour and what's next?
When I go on tour, let's see, like books, like again, I'm a dweeb. I'm also, I want my like vitamins and my I'm making myself I'm like the least rock star energy ever. What else? Like the best clothes I can possibly fit in my suitcase. And yeah, I guess that's it. And then what's next?
You
Um
need something more exciting than snacks and than just clothes and like your vitamins.
you know,
Please,
thinking,
please.
I'm like, what do I even bring on tour? Like just just yeah, books. I'm sorry. I don't know what else
Okay,
to tell you.
good.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good. Okay. And that which actually leads me to another question here that someone had asked, which is, well, how do you decide what you're going to wear on stage?
um oh, it's such a thing. I have so I spend a lot of time on it, to be honest, because
Oh, okay.
I do. I just love clothes and I love fashion, and it's really important to me that I like love what I'm wearing, but also that it feels like the music I'm singing, you
Mhm.
know? So, I often go to my favorite store in Los Angeles. It's called Replica. That's like the most amazing vintage in the world. So that's usually where I get a lot of my clothes. And I like put together outfits and plan them ahead and like make little videos to watch myself to see if I like them. I'm quite I spend a lot of time on the clothes. I love the clothes.
I love the process. I love the
Yeah.
process. Okay. Next song on the album we have, which is little more on the fun side, right? We got Cloud 10. So is this sort of more of like a little more upbeat, which I know Good News, which we're going to also talk about, is kind of also something a little more joyful, right? A little more fun up
Definitely.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, Cloud 10 is one of like the danciest songs I've ever written, I think. I really was just so in love when I was writing it, and Cloud 9 wasn't high enough is how it felt. So it was
Yeah,
Cloud 10. I do like to point out there's a background vocal that says it's a long way down. Because even when you're kind of joyful and giddy, there's always that scary feeling. Like I said, control, falling in love,
control.
the way of losing control. And so you're very aware of the heights that you can fall from. And
Mhm.
so in there, I think it makes it kind of um, a little bit more real, in my opinion. But yeah, it's definitely like a dancey love song for sure.
I like that. And with Good News, you co-wrote that, Mr. Hudson, correct?
In London.
At
Mhm.
London. So tell me about that because that feels like I said, it feels a little more groovy in
Yes.
sense of what you're delivering.
Yeah, so I was in London and I had a session booked with Mr. Hudson, which was so cool. I was very excited to work with him. And my friend Anna Yanez happened to be in town, so she
Mhm.
came. And I tend to write poems first. Whenever I go into a session, I tend to have like a full lyric written,
Yeah,
and it changes often in the session, but I like to start that way. And so I came in and I read this poem about how every time my heart broke in the past, it was good news because it led me to this wonderful place that I was in. Um, and we like Mr. Hudson Ben just was like laying down that keys part, so groovy, so funky. It was like instantly a good feeling. I left really buzzy that night. Like that was
yeah.
one of my sessions for the record.
I love like that probably feels like so euphoric as well when you like walk on, you're like, oh, that's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it's the best feeling on earth. Yeah.
All right, so let's get groovy. We have the video for Good News, so let's roll that in and take a listen and a watch.
I like to think of you the moment that they left me on the kitchen floor. A stranger running through the Lower East Side listening to Rubber Soul. 2 years of wondering, a plot twist that I couldn't expect. No, 'cause now you're across the world and your initials hanging from my neck. Now I see that every time that my heart broke, it was good news. So every step I took led me straight to you. That's good news. Good news. I'm soaking in a tub, seeing now what I couldn't see before. So I send a message to the younger me who's crying at the door. Yeah, me before you was a head full of questions. A hurt so holy it's divine intervention. And now I know that every time that my heart broke, it was good news. So every step I took led me straight to you. That's good news. Good news. So good, so good, so good. So good, so good, so good. If it's happening to you, we
That song just makes me want to go get a microphone and sing in the middle of the street too.
I love that.
It's a fun vibe. I love that. Okay, but now we're gonna get a little deep because Fig
Yeah.
Tree. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about Fig Tree. I feel like this is sort of like the centerpiece here, so we really need to sort of dedicate some time on it. Now that we know, obviously, where the inspiration came from when you were reading the Bell Jar, and how did that? So how did that inspire the idea of Fig Tree and where it came from in this song? Obviously, how did that sort of inspire where this album was gonna go and where all these tracks were gonna sort of land for you?
Yeah. Well, what's really funny is actually Fig Tree was the last song I wrote for the record,
Really?
which is so back. I know. I think what happened was, I knew in my head what I was trying to articulate, and I was saying it in lots of different ways with Hold Tight, with even the love songs, with All for a Man, like many different. I thought I was coming at it from every angle. And then I started to listen back to it, and I realized I never straight up said what I meant. So I kind of sat down to write Fig Tree. I thought I was just going to call the album Fig Tree without a song called Fig Tree. And
Right.
then I realized I wanted to be more clear. So I sat down and wrote it with that goal in mind at the very end. It's the very last thing I wrote. And even more than that, I wrote the verse and the chorus with Paul Duncan and Wendy Wang.
Mhm.
And then the bridge, which is the only time I actually say the word fig in the whole album, I wrote on the drive home from the dentist on the 405 one morning when I realized I still hadn't really said it. And so I
You're
had
like,
to
let me whip out the notes on my phone while I'm here and like just put it on paper.
yeah. And that was like the very last thing I wrote. And then the record was written after that. So surprisingly, that was the very final piece.
Which is so interesting because I think there's so much depth to this song in terms of just like probably where you were in your life, like where you decided, like, sometimes we choose a life and then obviously you have to let go of another, or like you say, you have to get grief another life, I believe. Or how does what was that moment for you then? Like what made you realize that?
Again, I think it's kind of like the time, at least for a lot of my friends, end of your 20s, early 30s,
Yeah.
where it's not that you haven't had to make big decisions before. It's just that your decisions start to feel more final in a way. Like it's not, you're still so young, but you suddenly become aware of the limitations in life. At least that was my experience.
Yeah, didn't you always feel like in your 20s, you're like, "I feel so old and wise," and now you're like, obviously in your 30s or 40s, and you're like,
Oh,
"I
I know.
was not like, no, this is not even like we're not even scratching the surface, baby."
Exactly. And I think that, my brother had kids during that time. So it was the
Mhm.
first person I witnessed become a parent, like in a
Right.
close way. And I just saw that like massive shift that comes with that. And so, I'm not sure that's the most satisfying answer. I also think I'm so happily in love and I was like, oh, this works. That's a kind of a really grown up feeling of a relation. If you listen to my first album, Bad Together, it's a relationship that was never going to work. Like,
Right.
it's like a toxic relationship. And that it was very fun to write about, but
Right.
there's something more nuanced when it's a relationship that is super great and works really well, and you just kind of realize what that means. Like it's the best thing in the world, but that also is it means you're closing a chapter of your life.
Yes.
And that was not simple for me. That brought up a lot of feelings.
Of course not. I think that's what probably makes the song so relatable as well, where you can like those can coexist, you know, the feeling of like, my goodness, I'm so happy. This is such a wonderful chapter. There's always going to be a part of you that mourns what you aren't anymore, but just like this new chapter. But it's normal, right? Like I think that's what makes a song relatable in that sense.
Yeah, and it's the realization that life moves one way. You know, like it's like you're on it's like I always think of that amazing Anna Nalick song. I think that's how you say her name. It's called 2 a.m. I think it was in the
Oh
OC.
my
That's where
gosh, remember that song? I love that song.
and there's a lyric in it that just haunts me, and it's life is like an hourglass glued to the table. It's kind of that realization of like
Yeah.
this only goes one way. So anything that I was before, I will never be again. And I've never been happier, honestly. I
Right.
love the phase of my life, but it's just a trip to know that there's a whole world
Totally.
there that's over, you
And now
know.
you're at a new stop. There's a new version of it, you know? So let's roll in Fig Tree so we can take a look and listen to this to this record.
What are you changing about me? I get the feeling you have a knife behind your back, ready to shame me. And I don't think you mean to hurt me like I've been hurt before. It's just a side effect of loving greatly. You know I used to be someone else, though I'm not sure. But she goes farther away the closer I get to you. And I wanna be close to you. I wanna be close to you. What are you missing about me? I hate being misunderstood. You tell me I'm stubborn with my heels in the wood. And I don't think you mean to grind me into the pavement, but the parts of me you hate were always my dad's favorite. You know I used to be someone else, though I'm not sure. But she goes farther away the closer I get to you. And I wanna be close to you. I wanna be close to you.
So beautiful. We have so many amazing comments from people. This song is my favorite. Your music makes me feel so much. Thankful for your art, that voice, amazing song. Hope we get more music videos soon. Get the chills every time. I mean, the
So nice.
reception from your fans has been incredible.
I have the best ones. I really do. I mean that. I love them so much.
I mean, I would carry them around in my pocket and just place all these compliments over and over again. Okay, the next one is actually your favorite song, you would say, Waiting Game, you said. So
Yes.
tell me about writing the song, what it represents, and basically a moment in your life where maybe it was even in during, you know, as you work through the music industry and where you are now, like just almost
Mm.
like playing a waiting game, what it means to you.
Yeah. Waiting game is about that space between when someone who you were in love with and it was like an intense romantic connection and you can just be friends. And the question of is that possible? Um, I kind of think the answer comes through the song, in my opinion, that you kind of answer it and that it's not really necessarily possible to do that. But it's about again, I made this record kind of contemplating paths and paths not taken. was kind of part of the thought in my mind. And
Yeah.
so I wanted to have a song that kind of captured that feeling of looking backwards instead of just looking forwards. It's like a reflection on where you came from and that feeling.
Mhm.
Um, has it been long enough to call you a friend? And
Right.
what that whole song's about.
I like that. Do you remember when you write your music, do you remember where you are specifically when you write each song? Like, does it take you back? Like, if I bring up now, like we're talking about Sour Grape, we're talking about Lie, you're like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I
Yes,
remember what that was.
totally. Always.
Tell
Yeah. For sour grape.
whichever one's like really in like which when you think of that, you're like, oh
It's
gosh,
funny.
this is a good story.
I went to a concert. I went to a Casey Musgraves concert with my mom, and I
Amazing.
was just being a bitch. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I was just in a horrible mood. I was just being like I had like a teenager energy, and I was just being a horrible vibe. And I literally started writing the lyrics at the show because I started to be self-aware enough to realize I was just being the worst. And I was like, it was making me laugh almost because it was
Yeah,
so, when you're like not supposed to act like that anymore. Um, and so I started writing it at that show. So now I always think whenever I hear Casey Musgraves, I think of that actually. And
I love
then
that.
yeah, Waiting Game, I started thinking about right there in my living room, but then I finished it with the incredible songwriter Eric Leva at his place, and I remember writing it there too. So
That's
they
amazing.
all have very vivid attachments to memory.
I like that. Okay, I want to go to some fan questions. Dan R, which song on Fig Tree felt the most vulnerable to you?
Soft.
Oh, share.
Soft. Oof, that one's I have a hard time talking about it, I'll be honest. It is about, you know, the feeling of when you're in conflict with someone and you just cannot see each other. There's like a phrase, looking at someone with your good eye. I find
Mhm.
some conflict, you're just unable to get the good eye you're not able to feel their good eye on you. And so
Yeah.
it was me asking for the good eye, the softness to like
Yeah.
meet me as a teammate rather than an adversary,
Right.
um, can be hard, to do when you're in the middle of a fight, basically.
Right. It's almost like your little blur. Your vision is a little blurry, sort
Yeah.
of. You
And you're
can't
not,
connect.
you're both kind of blinded by your own feelings and you're unable to see the other person clearly.
Yeah. No, that makes absolutely a lot of sense. Okay, Susie, I asked you about your writing process, which I love. Okay, Constance wants to know what albums are on your playlist. I want to know what you're listening to.
Ooh, um, I really like the new Ryan Beatty album. I love Ryan Beatty. I'm a big fan of his. Um, I was just listening to the new Gracie Abrams album yesterday.
Mhm.
Very excited for Phoebe Bridgers to come out tonight. Um, oh, I love Ella Langley. I love country. I love her. Uh,
Yeah.
oh God, I'm listening to so much, I think, right now. Oh my God, Ariana Grande. Sorry. Like I'm the biggest how do you say it?
What
Arianator?
is
Whatever.
yeah, she has like what are her fans called? Yeah, like the Aaron something like that.
But I'm not sure I've ever said it out loud. But I
Yeah.
have pedal just completely nonstop.
I
Yeah.
mean, she's magic though. Yeah, and I feel like Ella Langley's song is like the number one song
I know. It's such a
everywhere.
I
Like
know.
Jimmy and Matthew McConaughey did like a cover, a bluegrass cover yesterday on the show.
Did?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's really good. You should actually watch it. Yeah, it's really good. All right, so one more. We got a couple more, but I'm just gonna limit it so we can jump back really quickly okay, Larry wants to know who would you like to collaborate with? And then I guess someone jumped on that train and was like, "Oh yeah, great question. What about working with Kendrick?"
well, I got to work with Kendrick years ago, and that was like a highlight of my life, obviously. That was crazy.
Amazing.
I who do I want to collaborate with? Endless people. I mean, Ariana, I'm just gonna say that to the universe.
Put it out there fast.
Cleo Soul, I would love to collaborate with. Chris Stapleton, I've always wanted to collaborate with.
Mhm.
God, anyone Kelly Clarkson, I just love to sing, So
Yeah,
anyone who wants to really sing with me. Oh, Dijon, I would love to collaborate with Dijon. Ugh, there's too many.
I mean, it's a good list.
Yeah.
Anyone that makes you want to belt, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next song, All for a Man. So like right there, like that title, it just kind of
Mhm.
gets you.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to unpack here with All for a Man?
So I don't, listen, I'm not going to generalize, but speaking for a lot of women that I know, and myself included, there's an instinct to take care of people around you. Like I don't know what that is, but whether it's I don't know where it comes from, but I have an instinct when I love someone to do anything for them. And I love that about myself. I love to take care of people and I want to do everything for people I love. But sometimes it's a little bit, it can scare me because kind of like, again, true to the theme of Fig Tree, it can lead you away from whoever you were before. And that always scares me when I'm like, what is this love going to do to me? Like when I love someone so much, I'll do anything for you. Will I sacrifice too much? And again, I want to emphasize, not because someone's asking me to, just because that's my instinct when I care about someone is to do whatever. And I read a book called Motherhood by Sheila Heti. Again, I was really studying motherhood, and I was just feeling this very, I think, again, I don't want to generalize, but it feels to me like a quite feminine instinct to please, to caretake, to give yourself over. And it just scared me. So I tried my best to write about it. Again, another really kind of complex, nuanced idea that I tried to simplify to my best ability. But that's where that one came from.
I love that. Okay, so we're getting ready to wrap, and I just want to remind everyone to shop. Click that shop button, get a signed LP or CD. Rozzi's
right now.
You can sign one right now. We love it in action. She's going to sign. This is, again, a beautiful album. So personal, fun, hopeful, beautiful, as I mentioned a couple of times already. But she's going to sign this LP, CD. It can be yours. Buy a few for a friend. And if you're watching on Instagram, comment the word shop. There she goes. There she goes. Comment the word shop, and you're going to get a link directly into your DM to purchase the album, which, you guys are going to fall in love with. All right. So we're going to wrap up with this last question. Then we're going to close it up with the video. So if I don't get to talk to you before that, it has been such a joy and a pleasure getting to chat with you, Rozzi.
It's so nice to talk to you. I love your questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. So edge of something else. What is something else?
Oh, I like that phrasing. I wrote edge of something else for somebody in my life who I love very much, who kept getting stuck thinking that they were never going to feel better.
Right.
They were very anxious, kind of not in a good zone. And they just kept thinking, am I trapped in this place forever? And my goal with that song was to say that you're always on the edge of something else. What is something else? I don't know. It's like, we have to keep living to find out.
Yeah.
And then the song kind of transformed a little bit as I finished. It was one of the first songs I wrote for the record. And then when I was putting the record together, we put it at the end because it kind of fits with this theme of, like I said, I'm much more of an optimist than Sylvia Plath. This idea of all the figs and they all shrivel and die is not for me. For me, it was more, if you keep living, you do changing, to that Joni Mitchell lyric, which is my favorite lyric of all time. Something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. Yes, you lose stuff, but you gain stuff too, and you're always on the edge of something else. That was my message to everyone as I exited the story.
Oh, I love it. Not stuck, sort of changing gears in a way.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, we're going to leave all our viewers with the video for Edge of Something Else. And thank you for joining us, Rozzi. And thank you, everyone watching on TalkShop Live and Instagram.
Bye.
Like a sea change, like an ocean made of rivers, like a drink about to spill, like cups of fermenting liquor, like a cut about to scare, like a text being typed, like seasonal depression, like a phase in your life. You don't like yourself for we're always at the end of something and on the edge of something else. It's alright to feel bad tonight. We're always at the end of something and on the edge of something right. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo-hoo. before you let them fly right off your chest. Like a second before the DJ plays their request. Like the face of a bride hidden by a long white veil. Like the leaf on a branch about to set sail. You don't like yourself, oh well. We're always at the end of something and on the edge of something else. It's alright to feel bad tonight. We're always at the end of something and on the edge of something right. Woohoo, woohoo.